Last time, the Star Wars Chronicles, the Prophesied King. Our heroes now have a new enemy to deal with. This time, Anto has decided to take their fight to them. He wants them to seek their bounties so that he can restart his life again. However, during the fights, they manage to beat Anto rather convincingly. In his attempt to try to figure out a way to defeat those Star Wars, he goes out with Team Magnet to try to find material that can help him. He ends up helping them try to take down 10 to get the Shift Stones, however were unsuccessful in trying to stop him. Yet it wasn't a complete unsuccess, as they did manage to get a Shift Stone from him. So the Anto created the Shift Stone Watch, and managed to take over Team Magnet's base rather convincingly. Now with the Shift Stone's power, he decides to take his new form to making the Legion of Anti, this starting the new trial of the King. Episode 15, Legion of Anti. Our heroes were back at it with their training. Sora decided to train her powers along with Mikey as Cody was trying out some of the new things on his suit. Francisco was playing out his rocket ship as he had the news running in the background. It's another normal day in Scottsdale, Arizona. But you can all brace yourself for another year as New Year's is happening this Thursday. Yet there are suspicious activity happening from Anto Friend as a former businessman has been quiet in the past couple weeks. Speaking of Anto, is what you said about him true, Cody? Cody took a second to take a break by them. Is what the lighting guy mentioned, though I don't know much about these trials to say what will really happen. The two kids took their breaks as well.
Even if the trials are beat the guys every time, we beat Anto before.
I know, but part of me still feels bad for him. I really think we should have told him instead of instantly getting him in trouble. The others thought about it themselves as well.
I suppose we should have given him a second chance. Being abandoned by people you used to call friends isn't a great feeling to have.
Hey, it makes you feel better. I'll take the blame for it. It was my idea to tell the police in the first place. However, it might be too late for him seeing how he doesn't want to talk about it. We should at least give him the chance. The others nodded as they went back to their routine. Now we cut back to Anto and his robot back at their base with both of them staying ahead of 4 containers of interest.
Perfect. The data has almost been fully replicated. Revenge will be mine soon. As expected, but forgive me as I must say this, they mopped the floor with you last time. But if any good scientist will tell you, you must learn from your mistakes. With my 4 soldiers along with the new shift watch, I can easily turn the tables to my favor. Now, let's start thinking about what we would do with that reward money.
He heads over and sits by a nearby desk.
Of course, I would like to restart my business and restart my life. But what would we do after it? We could start another business of ours. I was thinking if we are hunting this bounty, we could become bounty hunters.
Anto thinks with intrigue.
Perhaps even greater than the likes of those magnet idiots. Hell, with my watches we could even, who's the greatest bounty hunter again? That would be the man called Carlos Pyrite, sir. Yes, even the likes of him. That is a great idea, my robotic partner. One does need a little action in their life.
He walks away from their chair.
Also, who's to say we won't expand this legion of ours? These 4 are nice and all, but we could really use the extra hands. The sky's the limit with this legion.
He begins to laugh as it echoes to the base. Back with the group, they take a rest and watch TV. Except for Mikey, who was talking to his mother in the other room.
You've come a long way since when we first started this.
She remained well in her cell as Mikey sat right beside her. Thanks, couldn't have done without your guidance. The two looked at each other happily as they laid there. Tell me, what was Dad really like? She looked at him weirdly.
What do you mean?
Mikey thought for a moment to help clarify his question. The thing is, every time I do these training sessions, I can't help but recall back to when I first met that Dragonel guy and how he acted. Morgan recalls that he did mention him in the past.
I see. He wasn't cruel or selfish, if that's what you're asking.
Can you tell me? She sighed as she rested her hand on his head.
Your father was unique. I never really got the chance to meet him because we're both rich blood. In our culture, most of the time rich people always marry rich. I was forced into that commitment like he was, but after a while we both decided to call it off so we can better know each other. He was always narrow-minded, sometimes forgets to put the best interest in mind, but he was kind. He understood what it meant to be a king, and also it kind of be like a husband. He could be difficult to work with, yet he still commits to be the best king he could be. Unfortunately, he fell down the traps most kings before him did, and acted way too mighty for his position. I think that's what the young Dragonel saw in him that made him think that way. But if there's one thing he cared about over anything else, it was for you. I remember the day you were born. He wanted to see you grow so badly. For some reason I can't explain. Out of everything he seemed to care for, he was only prideful of you, always saying, "My son will be the next Kevin Starticus," or "Just wait 18 years, he's gonna kick Dark Warrior ass like you wouldn't believe."
The two laughed a bit after she said that.
He would have been proud to see who you are now. He told me that he wished you were better than he was.
Do you think I am? She rubbed her hand on his back with a warm smile.
I can't say now. You still need work. But I can say you are heading in the right direction.
She takes away her smile as something comes to her mind.
Which does remind me, I have terrible news to bestow.
It has to do with Darky, doesn't it? She nodded with an upset look.
The Magonians fell just recently. They were the key reasons he wasn't after you. This will lead me to my next lesson. There will be a time where your leadership and character is tested. Darky has a clear agenda on why he's after you, and while I don't know the full story, it has something to do with your status as a prince.
Mikey looks at her confused.
He will stop at nothing to kill you, and after you're dead, I will soon fall as well. All I know is that he hates royalty and wants to put an end to all royal bloodlines, which of course includes ours.
So what should I do? Morgan gives him a straight look.
That's for the Prince of Starvania to decide. I've given you the tools to succeed, and I'm sure he will make the right decision. Just know that it's clear he will stop at nothing until his agenda is met. Good luck on what you have to do next. And remember, I love you, Michael.
Maggie gives her a confident look. I love you too, Mom. He wakes up to see the others beside him still watching TV. Cody looks back at him weirdly. You've been out of it for hours. Hope you aren't going to fall back in your old ways. Maggie just gives him a smile as he comes over. Can I be with my mother? Cody looks over to for Sora's input.
I'll allow it. He's not training right now, and it's good to talk with the people you care about.
David came back inside from his trip as he joins them. See, you guys had a good time. Francisco comes over to take a break. Not all of us, but you would be somewhat right. They would sit beside them to relax. I heard that Anto took over the base that Team Magnet guy said. Not sure what he's going to do with it, but that's what he's up to. Where'd you hear that from? Coming back from visiting the crew for the holidays, I saw those idiots babbling about it from the outskirts of town. Fortunately for us, they're more focused on getting that base back than trying to attack us, so we can relax for now.
Good to hear, especially since Lighton announced that the second trial has started.
And with that confirmation, I can get back to the hearing thing after a good 2 months of training. David laughed a bit after hearing that. I wouldn't get too ahead of yourself just yet. You still got a ways to go. He didn't notice Mikey looking at his sword. A lot of us do. But we all did make a lot of progress. They all nodded confidently as they watched the show on TV. They didn't see the signal get messed up with the loud static. Dale went over to see what was wrong with it while groaning. I thought you said you had a perfect antenna, Anaheim. Francisco looks at him weirdly. It is perfect. I'm not sure what you're talking about. They then heard a voice come through the static as the screen became focused. Dave backs up to see what's really going on. The screen eventually showed Anto's figure on top of the magnet building with a weird antenna behind him that was glowing blue.
People of Scottsdale, I believe now you can hear me. We interrupt your daily program to give you an important message. I, Anto Fran, as many know me by, have made a giant death laser that you can see right behind me. this puppy can blow up an entire city with just one blast, and you can probably guess where it's aiming. The reason I'm transmitting this is to make a warning to 5 specific individuals. There's no need to call them out, they know who they are. You have 24 hours to meet me on the top of the large building to come face me and end this gig. If you do actually care for others, as you say, there will be no problems here. However, you also have the choice to run and hide. Makes sense for you 5. You don't know these people. Why should you care? I guess we can now see you guys for who you really are. The choice is yours.
The program ended with the 5 looking at it weirdly. Did he lose his mind? Noise soon came from the outside. Everyone except Cody came out to look and see what's happening. Families got into their cars to leave. I guess we weren't the only ones that got that message.
This is bad. What do we do?
Follow suit. Pack your bags in. He stopped as he felt Mikey grab his arm. No, we take the fight to him. We won't let him antagonize people like that. So we're not confident as well.
I agree, but we need to make sure we talk to him first, this time, before we act.
David turns his back with his own confident grin. I had a feeling you would say that. Good, you made the right decision. But how are we going to calm these guys down? They didn't hear the winds of a man come above them. Eagle Man stood on top of the building with a prideful pose. Everyone remain calm. His command had everyone look up at the hero. Have you forgotten what I told you when I first arrived in this city? As long as I'm still living, no harm will fall upon anyone. Get everyone here, and I do mean everyone, and lead them to safety. Don't let this clone idiot install fear into us. Everyone took a second to understand his words, and they wanted to do just that. Times like this, it's best to use people have a hero to rescue. Eagle Man then jumps down to their level. Okay, that should take care of them. Time to do our part. They nodded and went along with them towards the towering building. On top of it had Anto, who stared down the people working together to help others.
They actually fell for my bluff.
Anti-10 comes over with a cookie on his plate. Anto takes one and eats it.
As expected, I also sense that the 4 are coming this direction. Everything is going according to plan. Good. It's only a matter of time until...
He then looked up to see a weird airship fly towards him. It was shaped like a carrier, only was flying and had the magnet symbol on it. From it came a speaker, for it was Pearson on the line. You think you're so tough for knocking us out, but guess what? We have ways to deal with your kind. Anto gives an intrigued look as they fly closer.
Is this another thing you wasted money on?
Don't be ridiculous. How do you think I arrived on Earth after I was exiled? I had this packed away in case of special occasions. I would rather show you this than my ability. So, what are you going to do now? Anto chuckled as he hatched an idea.
You don't threaten me, metalhead. In case you didn't hear me, I have a death laser behind me that could easily destroy your UFO, or whatever you call it, into pieces. Do you really want to test me? At least I only stole this base. Destroying other ones is the worst fate, if you ask me.
Pearson laughed himself. Go ahead. I know that's a fake.
Oh, really?
The blue light glowed brighter as something was charging up. It blinded Pearson as he was trying to look back at him. Darted right over as he covered his eyes with the message. Maybe we should back away until we figure out what to do with that laser. I heard that the group is going after him as well. Good idea. Let them do all the dirty work as we wait from the sidelines. He then put back up his megaphone. Very well. How about we put a bet up instead? The light went away as Anto looked intrigued.
A wager, you say? I'm listening.
I heard you'll be fighting the Star Warriors. How about if you lose, we get our base back?
And when I win.
You can have the metal carrier. Anto laughed as you heard that.
You got a deal, you dumbass. You have no idea what you're getting into.
Oh, I have the utmost confidence that you will lose to them. But we'll pull back for now. You better hold your end of the bargain. It flew away as Anto spoke devilishly.
I might have to keep this antenna for future deals.
He looks down to see our 4 heroes rush over towards the building.
A thought for later. It's showtime.
The 4 heroes stand at the entrance, getting themselves prepared. Overcompensating for something, is he? Why, now the base he nabbed. How am I supposed to reach him in time? They didn't hear a door open to see Anto at the entrance.
He's been expecting you. Come on in.
Well, there's our answer. Anto leads him into the building to one of the elevators. He presses a button to take them to the highest floor, being the roof.
Why is he blowing up the town?
The robot didn't respond. Did he really lose his mind? Silence yet again. Cody knocks on his arm with annoyance. Are you gonna speak or stand there like an idiot?
All of your questions will be answered in a short time. I would refrain from hitting me.
The elevator finally stops as they reach the top of the building. There I saw the entire along with 4 blue capsules, and Anto was sitting on one of them.
Greetings. I hope you enjoyed my program. Of course you don't. Everything I do for you makes you hate me more. We don't hate you if you just gave us the time to talk.
Anto laughed as he continued to sit there.
You should know by now that the time for talk is over. You had your chance and you blew it. Now is the time for action.
If it's regarding that giant blue thing, you can go ahead and let us destroy it as it contributes to nothing good.
What, this thing?
He puts on him with the same grin.
You still believe I have the time and resources to make a thing like this?
Wait, it was a
trap to get you guys here into my domain.
Just then the elevator blows up as a elevator blows up as a blue shield surrounds the roof.
It appears that with enough shield watches, you can encompass just about anything.
He jumped down from the castle, walk over to them.
I can't believe it was that easy.
You seem to forget you just trapped yourself here with us. Anto gave a hard laugh as he heard that.
Go ahead, think that. You don't even know the surprises I have for you.
He holds up his mechanical hand to show his 3 watches.
Why don't you try to attack me and see what happens?
Cody pulled Mikey over with an idea as Anto signaled Anti-10 to do something. See if he can chop that arm off with those watches. That way he had no choice but to talk with us. Mikey nodded and he brought out his sword to do so. He goes for a swing, but something stops him before he had a chance.
You fell for it.
Mikey looked up to see a metal version of himself standing there with its own sword.
You like? I try to make it resemble the original product himself.
Holy shit. The others come over with their powers and weapons arrayed as the robots matches Mikey's movements.
Was this his trap?
That's gotta be the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You just sit there in shock as Anto's smirk widen.
There is no need to feel left out. Just for you guys specifically, I got a buy one get 3 more special going.
After he said that, 3 other robots that looked like David, Eagle, and Sora appeared. I swear I'm not that short.
Am I really that shy looking?
They all noticed how each robot mimicked everything they were doing. I'm not sure if I should be flattered or appalled. Anto laughed once more.
Maybe you could figure that out during this fight. But for now, behold the mighty power of my legion of Anti. Unfortunately, I don't have real people to do this, so robots are the best I can do.
Mikey snapped out of it as he went for an attack. Him and his counter self blocked each other. They kept going at it as they accomplished nothing during their fight. David followed suit by launching one of his arrows, but his counter blocks with each arrow. Damn, it's even as accurate as I am as well. Cody and Sora try to get around theirs, but they just do what the others did and block each other as well. Anto laughed as they try to get it hidden.
Oh, this is just too funny to watch. That's right, waste all your energy as you attack my minions.
Cody backs up as he sights his clone. Each move he makes gets copied, leaving a thought in his head. He finally realized what's going on. Guys, stop fighting! All 3 of them did so and saw their counterparts back away as well. What'd you find, dude? Cody lifts his arm out to see the clone do the same. He waves it back and forth further to confirm his point. They're programmed to do everything we do. It's pointless to keep fighting these guys as long as they match every move we make. He didn't try it himself and he knows it was the same for him. So Mikey didn't learn that it was indeed the way it was.
Good eye. I would never figure that out.
Neither would I. I probably would have kept fighting the scene expecting results.
Well, that was faster than I expected. But don't get too cocky yet. Just because you figured out their gimmick doesn't mean you will beat them.
Yeah, at the same time, they won't win either. Anto presented his watch out the same smirk.
You are correct, but you're still missing the point.
He brings out one of his guns to shoot, only for you to dodge. That still leaves you wide open. Maya goes for Anto, but the clone manages to swing before Becky can next.
That's where you're wrong, Starboy. I've not only programmed these guys to match your movements in a fight, they were also programmed to protect me in all cases. You can't hit me.
Mikey seemed annoyed and he swung his sword towards the robot. He swung it so hard that it broke the clone's blade. That's right, you can mimic our moves, but you can't mimic our strength. With the robot disarmed, Mikey was able to destroy his clone with his sword beam. This time, he seemed less exhausted after performing it. He then points his sword at Anto. I'm getting tired of these games, Anto. Either you talk with us or I disarm you. It's your move. Anto seemed shocked at first, but he appeared annoyed as well. He brings out another gun as he says something.
And just like that, we got the royal pain in my ass.
Maya goes for the hand, but time slows down for Anto.
Oh well, it's a good thing I got this sweet shift watch for me to use. It's like I said earlier, you can't hit me.
He then blasts his gun towards Mikey, sending him flying back as he lets go of the sword. Anto slowly walks over to him with another laugh as the others struggle to get around their robots.
We need to help him, but what did he even do?
We'll figure it out later. David uses his flame sword to melt his clone. Let's take care of these guys first. Sword on as she tries to think around her clone. After looking at the antenna around her, she gives a confident smile.
Hey David, you said the same base element abilities can't affect each other, right?
Of course, that's how it's always been. Sword had aimed her light beam around the clone as the clone did the same. Her line bounces off the antenna back towards the clone as the clone did the same. This time, however, Sword absorbs the light as the clone loses balance after getting a good hit. When it was opportunity to attack her clone hard with a light punch, knocking off its head. Now back to Cody, he looks over to see a Starblade on the ground with the thoughts. It makes what I have naturally, but not when I pick up. He rolls over to get it as the clone follows, and he swings the blade to destroy his clone. David and Sora come up as they approach Anto.
I spent all that time making them only for you to destroy them in 5 minutes? Yet again, you destroyed my life's work anyway.
Are you ready to calm down and act civil about this? This distracted Anto long enough to not see Mikey Caustic Aura followed by a barrage of punches behind them. That is until his shield blocked all his hits.
You four rather annoy me, constantly trying to brute force your way to victory only to get lucky enough with their opponents, revealing their ability. Here's your problem, even if you did know what I do, it won't help you one bit.
The four go in for a hit as Anto slows down time again. Anto attacks him with his blast to force them all back.
Seriously, what did he do?
Cody hands Mikey back his sword as he all recovered. Well, you figured out the robots. What's he doing this time? I don't know. I guess he's increasing his speed to attack all of us? Raiden felt a hard pain on his arm. He looks over to see a wound on it with that bled. We better think quickly before he does anything else.
Take all the time you need. I'd love to hear more of your ideas.
David uses Phoenix to try and blindside him, but the shield blocks the attack as well. We need to bring down that shield. That's the only thing Kazuya's not to get a good hit in.
That's why I should use an attack I learned during my training.
She gets in front to bring both her light hands together. Shin launches a giant light beam towards his direction. This causes the shield to break as well as stagger him.
Jesus, that was bright, but it doesn't matter.
Sora charges up another one, only for Anto to slow down time again as it unleashes.
I'm now in agreement with Michael. I'm getting too tired of these games.
He brings out a bigger laser gun from his watch.
That's why I too got an ultimate attack. Let's see you survive this one.
It blasts out to hit Sora hard as the time restores. She gets sent flying back and almost knocks her out in pain. Maya rushes over to check on her. Sora, please, no. She coughs as she regains consciousness.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
David and Cody look back as well. No, it's too fast, even for that blasted charge up. Cody takes it over, looking at the injured Sora and Mikey. He then goes over as he wipes Mikey's wound. Dude, no, it's not the time to live out your kink. That's all I'm doing, you imbecile. He then goes over to attack Anto with some of Mikey's blood. He wipes the wet blood on him during the attack as well as punching him in the gut. Anto forces him back with disgust.
That has got to be the grossest thing anyone has ever done to me. What is your damage?
I don't know. What's yours? Anto activates the watch.
You people truly disgust me. All the more reason to kill you here and now.
He punches Cody hard as time came back. Cody gets up slowly as David helps him. Nice going, genius. What did that accomplish? Cody then points towards where he brushes some of the blood on Anto. Take a look, you'll see what I mean. He looks over to see a blood trail that led to where Cody was at beforehand. Where did all that blood come from? If he was truly increasing his speed, that blood should not be there as he doesn't have enough time to fall. With one more thought, he figured it out. That's it, he's not increasing his speed. He's decreasing everything else. He's slowing down time around him. How? Cody points over to the third watch on Anto's wrist. That's how. Using whatever material he has in that watch to do so. Whatever touches that watch is not affected by the slowing of time. Mikey and Sora overhears as they both get up.
Congrats, you figured it out. What do you want? A trophy for it? That will not help you out whatsoever in this fight. If anything, all it does is help you confirm how you'll die.
He slows down time once more to blast each and every single one of them.
So, smartasses, what are you going to do now? Honestly, you should have ran away when I gave you the chance.
The four get up again in a lot of pain. Now that I remember, Ten didn't mention he got attacked as he was bringing back the shift stones. And I suppose it was you who did that. Doesn't matter now. What's our next move? Anto looks down to see the shield was all still charging, and he looks back at them rather annoyed.
Not enough time. The shield needs more power for future reference. Meaning, I need to end this now.
He was so focused in thought that he didn't even notice Mikey and Sora seemed to be missing. Cody, I got a plan.
No, you don't.
He slows down time with a serious look.
Too late. You might have realized my strategy, but you don't know that it takes 5 seconds to recharge. You're done for.
He then fell a tip around him as he stares down at David and Cody.
What is it?
He sees Mikey and Sora also become a part of the slow down time as well. Remind me, Sora, Cody did mention that anything that latch onto that watch doesn't get affected by the slowdown.
I think that's what he said.
And Anto seems shocked as time was restored. With this revelation, Cody and David get a confident smirk. Shook him out of his boots. Cody uses his smoke bombs to blind Anto's vision. With that little advantage, Sora and Mikey discuss. Ready to do the thing?
Better do it now than later.
Mikey quickly went to the opposite side of the fog with Sora launching her light towards it. Some of the light hits Anto hard as the other bits reflect on Mikey's sword. Hitting him on both sides with one fire arrow charged with Phoenix's fire from David, an explosion took place inside the antenna, destroying it in the process. Anto then laid there in pain as the fight came to an end.
Had to make sure we didn't do too much damage to him.
Mikey walks over to check on him. Let's see if he's willing to talk now. Cody notices that the shockwave of the attack turned off the barrier. Regardless, we passed the second trial. Anto was looking up to see Mikey hold out his hand with the warmth. It appears you lost. Want to do things our way now? Anto fell back into the ground in disappointment.
Even with my legion and the watch, it was all for nothing.
He throws his fist on the ground in anger as tears form from his eyes.
Damn it! Why am I always doomed to fail?
Mikey held back as he saw the defeated man. The others concernedly came over as well.
No matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, the same result happens. I've improved greatly since last time we did this.
With another thought, Mikey gives him back a warm smile. It doesn't have to be that way. Besides, you aren't the only one who failed. Anto wipes away his tears from confusion. Look at us. We honestly failed you. We were supposed to be your trusted friends, but instead we turned our backs away as you were rising to success. We honestly didn't want any of this to happen, and we only had ourselves to blame. We're truly sorry for what we did, and we understand your anger. I'm sure with enough time we can make amends. That's all we wanted to do, so please believe us. Anto ignores the hand as he gets up back with a serious stance.
You still don't get it. You never understood that those words mean nothing to me. I've already chosen my path, and there's nothing you can do nor say that can change my mind. Be my guest. Apologize. You're about as insane as I am. If not more, if you think that would work the next time. That's the difference between you and I. I learn from my mistakes.
After hearing that and letting it sink in, he starts to give another laugh.
That's it. That's why I'm not always doomed to fail. I learn and you don't. That's how I'll get you next time.
He then calls the Titan over as he happily grabs his hand. And the Titan helps him fly as he stares back.
Note this, warriors. I will get that bounty before anyone else. Maybe not today, but the next time we meet. This isn't the last you heard from Anti-Francisco.
His last grew quiet as it flew away. Maggie looks on with disappointment. I don't get it. Why won't he learn? David comes over after he puts his hand on Mikey's shoulder. Cody and Sora came over as well as they look at disappointment. I understand that he's been a friend to you guys, but you need to give it a rest. There are just some battles you can't win. Not saying that people can't be saved, but he doesn't want to be. You can't change his mind, but that's just how life goes. Mikey looks back at him with acceptance. Besides, that doesn't change how you live. The others don't understand as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure one day he'll come to his senses. It's just not going to be from us.
Until then, we just don't pull a trigger. He can go on and attack us for all he wants, for all I care. Mikey didn't notice the yellow light spawn on one of the circles in the star blade. It looks like Conflict holds up in triumph. You're right. And with that in mind, we can continue to grow as we always do. He then goes over the ledge with a clear mind. He looks around the ground as the sun pierces through the clouds. Meanwhile, Terry was resting beside the lake at the faraway meadows. He was looking at the lake as some of the petals with the wind gently brushing behind him. It would appear a great deal of accomplishments have happened today, though it isn't from me. He looks at the lake in further disbelief. He then looks up to see Anto and Anti-10 fly by. There's that Anto character Dorky was talking about. What is he doing here? He sees him go behind a mountain as Anto finds his own lake.
What are we doing here, sir?
Anto looks at the lake with confidence.
This place is called Dulce Lo Momention, or Lake of Recovery in Starvanian. This will be the sanctum that will help me recover from my battle to gain a better understanding of my task.
He then lays next to the lake with relaxation.
Please keep an eye on me as I recover. Got it, sir.
Terry overhears this conversation as he rested there. I have no idea what he's talking about. Doesn't mean much to me. For all I know, he could be talking about a duck. He looks down at the lake with determination. Okay, I know you're in there. Now we are once again taken back to Starvanian's throne room. Darky was sitting there in a rest as one of the Dark Warrior Mains came over. He wakes up from his nap. This better be good.
They're here for the progress report.
Darky gave a groan as he heard that. Bring them over. After he did, the man left with determination. Darky prepares himself for who's coming. He then sees two individuals who seem all too familiar with him. One was a man with long black hair, white and purple robes with a necklace around his neck and a crown on top of his head. Next was a pitch black man with a gray cape and shoes along with messy black hair and a red gem on his chest. Emperor Voizanovich, Commander Ramsey, pleasure to meet you both. The two gave him a serious look with Ramsey looking around the place with a devilish smile. Love what you did with the place! It looks eons better than those pesky Starkiss did. Voizanovich put his hand out to stop the commander.
We would like to say the same, General. However, we come today bearing unfortunate news involving an old friend of yours.
Barry gave a surprised look as the Emperor stood there. We received a letter from Shadow King himself. We want to have you back in the fold with the Black Mages. Barry gave a slight laugh after hearing that. Tell him you can go to hell.
We did, and he didn't budge. From his words exactly, he states to bring back my powerful mage Bartholomew Doranus, or his prized possession will be taken from him.
He has no idea what he's talking about. How would he know about my treasure most? That's the thing. He knows very well you're after ending each and every royal bloodline in the universe. He claims that he'll give that Starboy every resource he needs to put it into your escapades. Now, normally we would go and kill him for the hell of it, however, his magical ability is unrivaled. The only person who ever surpassed the magic is your own, and he seems to have a hold on you. Dory clenches his fist in rage after hearing this. He has no idea what he's talking about. How can we be sure of that? Voizanovich holds him back again.
That doesn't matter. Now, I understand when we recruited you, we got a committed general.
That's what you got.
Understood, but commitment now isn't good enough. We need these past transgressions taken care of. I don't care where that boy is or what he's doing. Whatever problem you have with the Shadow King needs to be dealt with. Do I make myself clear?
Darky hears and understands. You have my word. The Shadow King will be dealt with in a matter of time. The two members see them leave.
Good, that better be the case. We'll leave for now, but when we come back, we should not be hearing from him again. We look forward to seeing you again, Darky. As always, keep the place going strong.
They fully leave as Darky watches in anger. Damn you, Norman. Why must you always be a pain in my back? You're playing with fire when you're dealing with me. I understand I'm coming for you.